So hopefully you've heard of order of operations before, or at the very least you remember something like please excuse my dear Aunt Sally. That's called a mnemonic device. It's something used to remember something else. So in this case, please excuse my dear Aunt Sally is used to remember parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, and subtraction. And basically what that is the order that if you're given an expression like this, what should you do first? What should you do second? You can see here there's some exponents, there's division, there's multiplication, subtraction. What should you do first? And the reason this is important is because if you do one thing first and someone else does something else first, then you're going to end up with different answers. So this is the order that mathematicians have agreed on, that this is the order to do things in, so that everybody does things the same. So we're going to go through each step. We're going to do one example, and then there's going to be a lot of opportunities for you to see examples and try this out today. So you start with working with anything that's inside parentheses. So in our example, that's just this piece. And the thing to remember is that parentheses disappear with only one number inside. So once you have gotten this to the point where there's only one number inside, the parentheses just go away. So in this example, we're going to do parentheses first. Inside the parentheses is 5 minus 3, and 5 minus 3 is 2. So notice I simplify that first, and I'm just going to recopy everything else. And notice that once I got this number down to 2, the parentheses disappeared because there was only one number inside. So I'm going to recopy everything else, but the first thing I do in any expression is the parentheses, so I've done that first. The next thing I do in an expression like this is any exponents that are present. Okay? So in this case, the exponent that's present is right here. Exponent is a superscript number. That's like this. Okay? And just a note about exponents, anything to the 0 power, any number, right? X could be 100, it could be 0.3, it could be 5, it could be anything. Any number to the 0 power is 1. No matter what this number is, if you take it to the 0 power, it's 1. If there's a number to the first power, you don't ever see this written because any number, x to the first power, is just x, right? So if this is a 5, 5 to the first power is 5. 100 to the first power is 100. X squared means x times x. This is x multiplied by itself 2 times. X cubed, x to the third power, is x times x times x. And this goes on, right? So x to the fourth power is x times x times x times x, and so on. But that's what an exponent means, is that you take a number and you multiply by itself that many times. Okay, so let's go over here. This 4 to the second power means 4 multiplied by itself twice. So this means 4 times 4. 4 times 4 is 16. And again, I'm just going to copy everything else down, right? Because I only do this one step at a time. So first I did parentheses, that's first in order of operations, then exponents. Next is multiplication and division. From left to right. This is a really common mistake that's made, that people think that multiplication is first, but it's not. Multiplication and division, they happen at the same time from left to right. So for example, in something like this, multiplication and division happen from left to right. This is multiplication, but it doesn't happen first because it happens from left to right. So I would do this first, 10 divided by 2, which is 5. Then I would bring down times 4, and so this would end up being 20. That would be the correct answer here. Okay. So over here, I notice I have some division and some multiplication, and I'm going to go ahead and do that from left to right. So I'm going to start here with the division. 16 divided by 2 is 8. And I'm just going to copy times 5 minus 7. Next I have multiplication, so I'm going to do that. 8 times 5 is 40. And finally, the last step in order of operations is addition and subtraction. Again, we add and subtract from left to right, and same deal with multiplication and division, which is that some people make the mistake of thinking that addition has to be first because they remember Aunt Sally. But in fact, it's from left to right. So in this case, the addition wouldn't happen first. Because it's from left to right, the subtraction on the left would happen first. So 5 minus 3 is 2 plus 4. The correct answer here would be 6. In my problem, I don't have addition and subtraction, I just have some subtraction. So I would do that final step. 40 minus 7 is 33. So this long expression simplifies correctly to 33. And if you did these operations out of order, let's say you had done the division, you did the multiplication first here, or if you had not done the parentheses first, you would have gotten a different answer. But this is the correct answer according to the correct order of operations.